Okay, I said today we are going to have an agriculture lesson. Okay, we're going to have an agriculture lesson. Today we are going to learn about vegetable crops. Today we're going to learn about vegetable crops. We're going to learn about vegetable crops. Unlock your video, Charmaine. Your video.
Yep.
Samantha, your video is off as well. Please unlock your video, Samantha. We are going to have a lesson on agriculture. We are doing vegetable crops, okay? So we are going to start. What is a vegetable? Want to define what is a vegetable, okay? What is a vegetable? A vegetable is a plant or a crop that is grown in the garden, okay? A vegetable is a plant or a crop that is grown in the garden for human consumption, okay? We grow these crops called vegetables so that we can have food. We grow them for food. And these crops are grown in the garden. That's why we call them, they are vegetables. They are mostly found in the garden, these vegetables. They are crops that are grown in the garden for human consumption. Unlock your video. Charmaine, may you unlock your video? Your video is off. Okay. Where are vegetables grown? I said where are vegetables grown, Samantha? Samantha, where do we grow our vegetables?
In the garden.
In the garden, yes. So they might ask you where are vegetables grown? They are grown in the garden. Vegetables are in the garden. Okay? Vegetables are grown in the garden. And what are the nutrients that we get from vegetables before we get more into the types of vegetables? Shadrach, afternoon, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we are doing agriculture, Shadrach. We are having a lesson on vegetables. You can take that down. We are talking about vegetable crops. We defined a vegetable as a plant or a crop that is grown in the garden for human consumption or for food. We grow it for food, and others may grow it for sale, depending on the type of the farmer. Okay, if you are a commercial farmer, they grow these vegetables for sale. While subsistence farmers grow these crops mainly for food. Okay. Yes. We say that we get, what are the nutrients that we get from vegetables? From vegetables, we get vitamins and we get proteins from vegetables. We get vitamins and proteins from vegetables, okay? Because we have some vegetables like the tomato, which is a fruit vegetable. The moment you have those type of vegetables, you are protected from your disease, okay? That's a fruit vegetable. And then we have vegetables like legume vegetables, the beans, the peas. They are a type of legume vegetables. They provide us with proteins, okay? So we get proteins and vitamins from the vegetables. Remember, in agriculture, we talk about the growing of crops. We grow these crops because when people eat these crops, we expect some nutrients. We expect them to gain some nutrients from the food. Imagine when you're just eating these chickens, you don't get anything. But when you get crops, when you eat these vegetables, you get a lot of nutrients. You get vitamins which protect us from diseases. We also get proteins, okay, which make us grow. Okay. And then how we want now to look at the types of vegetables. That's our next heading, the types of vegetables. Vegetables are classified into 4 types. There are 4 types of vegetables. There are 4 main types or 4 main classes. Let's call them classes. 4 main classes of vegetables. There are 4 main classes of vegetables. Tyrone, unlock your video. There are 4 main classes of vegetables. Unlock your video, Tyrone. Your video is off. May you unlock your video. We have 4 main types of vegetables. Welcome, Tyrone. Can you hear me? We have 4 main types. Your video is okay. Yeah, that's okay now. We have 4 main types of vegetables. We are having an agriculture lesson. We are talking about vegetable crops. There are 4 main types of vegetables. The first type of a vegetable we have is called, we have leafy vegetables. Leafy or leaf vegetables. We have leafy or leaf vegetables. Charmaine, unlock your video. Unlock your video, Charmaine. We have leaf vegetables. Leaf vegetables, they are leaf vegetables. Leaf vegetables have leaves. For example, we have cabbage. Cabbage. We have cabbage. We have cabbage. Then we have wrap, cabbage wrap. We have kale. What is kale, Tyrone, in simple language? What do we call kale? What is kale in simple language? Kale, yes. In simple language, what is kale? Do you know kale in simple language? Umbida. Okay? Umbida. You call it umbida day to day. That's kale. K-A-L-E. We always call it umbida. Okay? That's kale. Okay? We have kale. Kale. And then we have spinach. Spinach is also a type of a leaf vegetable. Spinach. Charmaine, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please just wave your hand. We are looking at vegetable crops. We are looking at, and then we have broccoli. Broccoli is a type of a leaf vegetable. You might be asked to list 4 examples of leaf vegetables, okay? At our stage, at grade 6 level, we no longer name 2 things. We name more than 5 things. You may be asked to name 5 things. So already I have given you 5 examples of leaf vegetables, so that whenever you get a question, you are able to list them, okay? Another example, another class of a vegetable are fruit vegetables. We have leaf vegetables. Now I want to look at fruit vegetables. That's another class of vegetables that we have in agriculture. Fruit vegetables. An example, the examples are, we have tomato, the tomato that we love so much. Tomato is a fruit vegetable because you can eat it raw. These fruit vegetables, we can eat them raw. Most of them, we can eat them raw. You can just get your tomato when you're having a braai at home. You just pour salt, you can just eat it. You can have it. It can be eaten raw. Pepper, whether it's yellow pepper, red pepper, green pepper, we have pepper. Can also be eaten raw. We have eggplant. An eggplant looks like a cucumber, but it has a different shape and it has something at the end there. It's called an eggplant. An eggplant. If you go to Pick and Pay there, I'm sure you might find an eggplant there. It's called an eggplant. Cucumber. Cucumber is another type of a fruit vegetable. We can eat it raw. So the fruit vegetables, most of them, you can just eat them raw. You have your salt, you just put your salt and then you can have it raw. You don't need to cook these vegetables. We have a pumpkin. A pumpkin is also a type of a fruit vegetable. A pumpkin. P-U-M-P-K-I-N. Pumpkin. And a squash. A squash is round, green. It's called a squash. It's round and it's green. It's also a fruit vegetable. So we have a tomato, pepper, eggplant, cucumber, pumpkin, squash. These are fruit vegetables. We said we have 4 main classes. Our 3rd class of a vegetable, they are called root crops. root crops or root vegetables. These ones are also self-explanatory, meaning that they grow under the ground. Remember, roots are found under the ground. So these plants, you find the leaves are on top of the ground, and the fruit or what we eat is under the ground, okay? What we eat is under the ground. So we call them root crops or root vegetables. An example, we have a carrot. The carrot is a root vegetable, a carrot. We have an onion. Onion is also a root crop or a root vegetable. Beetroot. Beetroot is also a root vegetable. Shadrach, we are now doing our third class. We have leaf vegetables, fruit vegetables. Now we are going to root crops. We are going to summarize it. Don't worry. Now we are having root crops. We said our first example, we have a carrot, an onion, a beetroot, potatoes, and we have, these are root crops or root vegetables. You find them underground, okay? They are found underground. Even the sweet potato is also underground as well. The sweet potato in Ndebele, in Bambaila, find it underground. It's the season for it now. I'm sure it's there. In Bambaila, it's being sold outside. The last example, the last class of a vegetable are legume vegetables. Legume vegetables, Legume, legume vegetables. Legumes are crops or plants that are grown in pods, okay? They are grown in pods. Legumes are grown in pods. For you to eat a legume, you have to open a pod. It is grown inside a pot, and for you to have the legume, you open the pod. An example, we have the peanuts, okay? The peanuts, amazambane, peanuts, yes. You open the pod for you to have the peanuts, okay? We have beans as well, beans. We have peas, peas, P-E-A-S, peas, groundnuts, the groundnuts. We have the round nuts, in Zulu, round nuts. We also have the cowpeas. Anyone who knows what the cowpeas are called in Ndebele or Shona? What do we call the cowpeas? Cowpeas. Do you know them? The cowpeas. The cowpeas in Shona, they are called Nyemba. In Ndebele, they are called Indumba. Cowpeas, Indumba. Cowpeas, Indumba. And then we have the Bambara nuts, or we call them Indlubu. Indlubu, those are the round nuts. We also have soybeans. So we were saying, these are the types of vegetable crops. When you look at crops, crops are put into many classes. There are field crops, there are vegetable crops, there are different types. And today we are learning about the vegetable crops. We say that vegetable crops, these are crops, or vegetables are crops that are grown in the garden, okay, for human consumption. Subsistence farmers, they grow them for food, while these commercial farmers, they grow them for sale. That's why if you go into town, you find some people who sell big bunches of vegetables like kale, okay? You find kale, which you said kale is umbida, you find it everywhere. People are growing it in big sums and amounts so that they can sell it to other people. These vendors who sell it to us, they would have bought it from a big commercial farmer who has a big farm who grows these vegetables for sale, okay? And we said vegetables have four main classes. Our first class, we said we have leaf vegetables. Leaf vegetables are identified by leaves. They have many leaves around them. For example, we have the cabbage, we said kale, spinach, lettuce. These are leaf vegetables. Broccoli, they are leaf vegetables. We have fruit vegetables. Fruit vegetables can be eaten raw, just like when you get a fruit. A fruit, when you get a mango, you cannot cook it. When you get a mango from a tree, you eat it directly, okay? So fruit vegetables can also be eaten directly. For example, a tomato, we have a cucumber. These things, we can eat them. You just need your salt. Some people don't even put salt, they just have them like that. You can eat it raw, whether with salsa or just by eating it alone. People can have the tomato or the cucumber raw. We have the tomato, cucumber, pepper, the eggplant, the pumpkin, and the squash. Another class of a vegetable, we have root crops. Root crops, these ones are found under the ground just like roots. We find roots under the ground. So these type of vegetables, we get them from under the ground. For example, potatoes, the sweet potatoes, you have the carrots, the onion, the beetroot. They are found under the ground. And then our last class of vegetables that we have are called legume vegetables. Legume vegetables, we said a legume is a plant that is found in a pod. Okay, the plant that is found in a pod. The examples, we said we have ground nuts, beans, peas. All these things are legumes. Legumes are found in pods. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions. Who can define a vegetable for me? What is a vegetable? What is a vegetable? Can you define a vegetable for me? Yes, Samantha?
A vegetable is a plant or a crop that is grown in a garden.
Yes, which means if they ask you, where are vegetables grown? You say they are grown in a garden, okay? So a vegetable is a plant or a crop that is grown in the garden. Who can give me any class of a vegetable that we learned about today and the examples as well? We say that vegetable crops have 4 classes. Can you give me any class of a vegetable that you understood today and its examples? Any class of a vegetable? Yes, Samantha? Classes of vegetable, just pick one. Yes.
Fruit.
Fruit vegetables, yes, Samantha. Can you give me an example?
Tomato.
A tomato, yes. We have fruit vegetables, tomato. We say the fruit vegetables can be eaten raw, okay? They can be eaten raw. If you look at cabbage, some people eat cabbage, but some others, they can cook it, okay? You look at kale. Kale, you need to fry it here and there for you to have it, okay? But with the fruit vegetables, some people can fry it, but if you don't want, you can have it raw, like the tomato or the cucumber. Thank you, Samantha. Any other class of vegetables? Tyrone, your hand was up. Yes, Tyrone?
Root vegetables. Root. Carrot.
Yes.
Sweet potato.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Tyra. Root vegetables, these are found underground. And the examples, we have the carrot. The carrot is a very good example. You'll find it everywhere, even in the exam. They usually have the carrot as an example of a root vegetable, especially on the paper one where you're asked to choose a letter. The carrots, you have the onion, the beetroot. If you don't find an onion there, you have a carrot there. You can pick the carrot, the beetroot as well. It's a good example of a root vegetable. Any other class of vegetables that we said there are 4? We have mentioned 2. Any other 2 classes of vegetables that are left? Yes, Samantha?
Legume.
Legumes, yes. Give me an example of a legume vegetable. Sorry?
Soya bean.
Yes.
Groundnut.
Yeah. Thank you, Samantha. Soya beans, groundnut. You might ask to define a legume vegetable. A legume vegetable, remember, it's a vegetable that is grown in a pot, okay? When they come out, they are inside. Some things, okay, you cannot find it outside, like when you see the potatoes just outside or the carrot. With the legume, it is inside the pot. You have to open the pot for you to eat or have that legume. What about our last class of vegetable that is left? We have mentioned the fruit, we've mentioned the crop, we've mentioned the legume. There is one class of vegetable that is left. Mr. Spenton, are we still together there? Tyrone, are you with us there? Okay, yes, yes, I was seeing that, yes. Okay, Samantha, yes, and the last, okay, let's give Charmaine, Charmaine is here. Let's give Charmaine a chance. Yes, Charmaine, can you tell us our last class of vegetable? Charmaine? Charmaine, can you hear me? Charmaine's network is a bit challenging here. Charmaine, are you able to hear me? Oh, Charmaine is not in. Samantha, you can continue. Yes, Samantha?
Leaf.
Yes, leaf vegetables.
Cabbage.
Yes, cabbage.
Red.
Red, yes. Red. Sorry?
Cabbage.
Yes, cabbage. Red, yes. Kale, spinach.
Spinach.
Yes, all those. The leaf vegetables are identified by the leaves. They have the big leaves around them. You see the cabbages, leaves all around it. The kale has leaves as well. Lettuce, it has leaves all around it. These are the 4 main classes of vegetables, okay? I hope you managed to hear our lesson and understand the lesson. I am going to upload work for you to write related to our lesson for today, okay? I'm going to give you a chance to say goodbye to one another before we close our lesson. I'm happy because Charmaine was able to hear me. It's just that she had a problem with their video, but she was able to hear us, okay? So we can say goodbye to one another before we end our lesson for today, okay?
Bye, teacher.
Okay, bye, Samantha.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Tyrone.
Bye.
Yes, Samantha. Yes, Samantha.
Today there's great green debele.
Grade 3 in Debele, yes. It's at 1. Can she try? It's at what time? No, grade 3 in Debele. Okay, I think Mrs. Daniel is going to communicate, okay? Okay, grade 2 Shona is at 1. Okay, so Charmaine, please, can you tell Tafata grade 2 Shona is at 1, okay? Okay, so bye, guys. See you again tomorrow. Okay. Bye. Bye.